this is a good segue because, I mean, you talk about nobody going to see Paul Thomas Anderson movies or nobody going to film school to direct, and I think the era of the superstar director is over, and for evidence of that, look no further than the BFG this weekend.
Yes.
Steven Spielberg, the most popular filmmaker since Hitchcock. I mean, that's kind of irrefutable.
Yeah, absolutely.
He can't make another huge hit out of a fantasy movie, which has long been his specialty. The BFG opened at something under $20 million, so it tanked for a big summer tentpole Spielberg movie. Unheard of in his career for that particular kind of film, really.
And then you go. I was just looking at the comments underneath. I went to YouTube and I looked at the comments section under the BFG trailer. And me personally, like I know Roald Dahl, the author of the original book, but I never really read this particular book. So when I first heard about the film, the BFG, coming to cinemas, I used to play Doom. I used to play the video game Doom, and I thought of the BFG in that, which is a weapon that you get that's really called the big fucking gun.
Right.
Right.
See, I saw the title and I thought, shouldn't the word notorious be in that title?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and so I found out that it's about a giant, and I thought, what? It's called the Big Fucking Giant? And then I had to then I investigated it further and found out that it was really the Big Friendly Giant. And I thought, boy, calling it the BFG in this day and age when most people aren't reading and there's more video game players out there, calling it the BFG and then people finding out it's about a rather creepy-looking old man sort of giant and a little girl, I thought, that's probably not going to work. It's just not something that makes you excited to go see. Oh, let's go see the BFG.
But guys, it works. It works more than it should.
Yeah.
It really does work. No, even when I saw the title originally, I was like, how are you going to get this by? Because I did think at first for years, it's a big fucking giant, but no, it stands for big friendly giant. It's actually a very charming little movie. I think it's better than Tintin. I think Tintin is really the low point in Spielberg's career. It's just not a very. And it should be.
Although that was rather a hit, wasn't it? Was it not?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I don't. It's not. I think that and Crystal Skull are really his low points as far as the director. Now, just listen to what I just said. He's made how many movies, and those are the two low points.
Mm-hmm.
That's not bad. I think the BFG will do well in the long run. In the short run, no. This article in Variety pisses me off that it says his magic is gone. It really pisses me off because if it wasn't for Spielberg, we might not have this show. Spielberg really has done so much for filmmaking in the industry. I
would
hate
still
that.
do the show without Spielberg.
Well, I know we would, obviously, but you know what I'm saying. Like he
I love Spielberg. I love Spielberg. We're going to do a list of Spielberg stuff later, but maybe his magic isn't gone. Well, it could. There's two ways of looking at this. Maybe his magic isn't gone. It's the people's response to his particular brand of magic that's gone. Or you can look at it as, look, Spielberg has matured, and it's a real feat for him to try to go back from work like Schindler and Munich and Private Ryan to a movie like the BFG.
Right.
He's trying to, but in some cases it feels like diminishing returns.
Oh,
because he doesn't live in that place anymore.
No, he doesn't. But I don't think it's a bad movie. I don't think it's one of his better movies.
It's not a failure.
It's not a bad movie, though. I hate that they were already going to.
I'm talking about kind of Yeah, I mean, I think the BFG will be a good movie. I'm not poo-pooing the movie, and that's the second time I've used the term poo-poo in this show. I just, I do think there's something to be said. Like when he did The Lost World, and he had just come off. What did he just come off of? Was it Private Ryan that year? Whatever year that was.
No, he did The Lost World. I think before that,
Amistad.
Amistad was after that, was later that year. Do we want it? It wasn't Schindler. It couldn't have been Schindler. So
it could have been Schindler. No, Schindler was the year that Jurassic came out. And then he did another drama, and The Lost World came out. I'm trying to figure out what that one drama was. But it was like, you almost sensed when he was interviewed, like, yeah, I'm going back and making another dinosaur movie.
Yeah.
But he moved past that,
Yeah. No, he did.
Which doesn't mean that Jurassic Park was bad. It wasn't bad. I mean, it was as good a movie as anyone could direct of that material. It was infused with great Spielbergian staging and moments and wonderment and that kind of thing. It was wonderful, but his interests lay elsewhere because he'd spent 20 years making that kind of movie.
No, you're right. I mean, it is hard to go back to that. But I just don't think this is a bad movie. I know people, because of the box office, want to shit on it, but it's not. It's actually much better than it has any right to be very honest with you, because you don't expect much from it.
Here's my question.
And when
let me ask a question here. When I look at clips from it and everything, I wonder, why didn't they just make it into an animated movie? Why did they have to put the real girl in there? Because I think one of the reasons that it failed is because at the box office is because people don't like the effects. People now judge a movie on its effects and whether they can buy them or not.
Right,
and there's just something about there's some kind of disconnect between the girl, who is real, and the surrounding world. And I know a movie like this can be made because my favorite movie of the year still is Jungle Book, and that's basically the same kind of thing. But it achieves what it's trying to do. I mean, it makes you believe that it's a whole world that's
Two words
cohesive.
For you, Dean. Finding Dory. The parents are taking the kids to see Finding Dory, and not that Finding Dory is a bad film. It's actually a very enjoyable film, but they're gonna go for the known. How shall I say it in this day and age? Pixar. Finding Dory is the sort of known commodity.
And their kids were raised in front of the TV watching Finding Nemo over and over and over again.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and that's not a bad thing. I'm not pissing on Pixar.
Well, what I'm saying though is that the BFG, I think one of the reasons that it has failed is because of the choice of not doing it as an animated film. And there's already an animated version of this story out there that was made in the 80s. So, I mean, I don't see why you just couldn't animate the entire thing. And that would erase the whole effects issue. Because the little girl looks like she's cut out of paper and put into this world.
Oh, well, I want to say that, but then there's a whole part in the third act where there are tons of live action actors, actually. So, and that's actually very true. I actually think that third act saves the movie. Because you're watching it, you're just like, is this all it's going to be? This little girl interacting with the giant and the other giants in the movie, and then you get this third act that I think really, really delivers the goods for that kind of movie. Now, the next movie up from him is Ready Player One, which is based on a very popular book, and that could be very good. I don't know. And then we get Indiana Jones 5 after that, where hopefully Indiana Jones will not be murdered by his son. So that's, So
it's going to be a little while before we get another, serious Spielberg movie.
We got a very good Spielberg movie last October with Bridge of Spies. I mean, let's be honest, it's a very good movie.
No, I liked it. I mean, another thing that I found in the comments, section that I was looking at was that the popular perception of Spielberg now amongst 20-year-olds is that he's a guy that makes movies for old people.
Who would have ever thought that, Dean? Who would have ever? What kind of world do we? What kind of? As Don Rickles
it's odd. It's odd because when we were growing up, I mean, the criticism of Spielberg was, when's he going to grow up?
Right.
In saying all this, I think I get the sense that Spielberg wants to make one last blockbuster of the fantasy genre. I think his mind's set on that. Like, I got to do it before I pass. I got to make another Jurassic Park or something, and which is worrisome because he made his Jurassic Park, he made his E.T. He was the best at it, and now embrace a different kind of movie. There's nothing wrong with that. That's what artists are supposed to do. And when we talk about financial returns and stuff, I just want people to know we're not talking about it as if it necessarily reflects on the quality of the movie. I talk about financial returns because it's interesting to see what people are responding to and what that says about us and our movie-going habits.